Well, thank you, Alroy, and thanks everyone for joining. This is Ryan speaking. And just to preface this, we've been working with ChannelSale for at least 5 years now, and the relationship has been a great one for us and a great one for our sellers using their services. So, first, just want to thank ChannelSale for putting on this webinar, and thanks everyone for attending. Today we're going to be talking about some of the best practices for price falls and specifically talking about some of the data requirements and ways that you can manipulate data on price falls using price falls tools, as well as some of the promotional opportunities that we offer. Just to give us some background on growth for Pricefalls.com marketplace, we have been growing very quickly over the last 4 years. We were founded back in 2008, so we've been running for a decade now, but we do have approximately 1,300 sellers selling on price falls. Many of them are top 1,000 internet retailers. We also have some major brick and mortars selling with us. And our catalog has grown tremendously over the past year and a half, really. We've added about 7 million products to our catalog, so we're featuring 15 million products for sale across 25 major retail categories. We've been growing at about 72% year over year for the last 3 years. It's a compound annual growth rate. And just last quarter was our biggest quarter yet. Our traffic was up 50% year over year in Q4 of 2017. Email, organic traffic, and our affiliate channel have been the biggest drivers of that growth, where we're seeing much more engagement from our customer base. We do have more than 1 million unique visitors coming to Price Falls each month, and so the growth has been great. We sold 50% more products in Q4 of 2017 than in Q4 of 2016. So we're really looking to expand upon that growth, continue that growth, and add more products and more sellers, and then also give tools to our sellers to increase their sales throughout this year in 2018. One of the reasons we've been growing is sort of this marketplace flywheel of a model that we have, and there's not that many marketplaces out there that are incremental sales channels for sellers. There's Amazon, there's eBay, there's a few others, Walmart. But really, Pricefalls is one of the few that additional channels that sellers can add to expand their distribution channels and networks and gain incremental revenue. And the way that we've done this is by growing our own volume, expanding our seller base, offering a stronger selection to our customers with more competitive prices, aggregating lots of content and reviews from our customers, ultimately giving everyone a better experience, and then increasing the volume that we're providing, which continues that cycle of growth. And we really feel that Marketplace is the position for success in the future. Today, we can talk about some of the reasons and some of the ways that you can use Price Falls to win in your e-commerce marketplace strategy. One of the most important benefits and differentiating benefits of Price Falls compared to other marketplaces is the ability to leverage the customer marketing rights that you have to customers that you sell to on Price Falls. You receive customer data, and you have the ability to market directly to those customers in many different ways. So we're very transparent. The marketplace is very transparent. So here's some examples of how you could use marketing data to remarket and re-engage customers. For one, you can put these emails into your customer match campaigns on Google and Facebook. You can retarget these customers based on just the unique email through display and through other display channels and retargeting channels. You can pull them into your re-engagement efforts through your direct mail and through email, as well as any of the post-transaction layers that are involved in the sale. So if you have service layers, or if you have warranty or upsell, you can always use those to your benefit on Price Falls. And other marketplaces, it is more difficult or restricted in how you're communicating with customers. One of the other benefits is that you can often resolve issues that may arise in your orders more easily because you have a means of direct communication. Sometimes on Amazon and some of these other marketplaces, the customer simply files a dispute and wins automatically. So we're also going to talk about and go in more depth about how to win on search on Pricefalls with better data, and how to use some of the tools that we offer to provide a full experience and to make sure that your products are showing up in all of the search results in the highest that they can show up in those search results, landing at the top of our algorithms. One of the important things that to note is that sales history matters, and our system is using sales history to determine which products show up highest. So the more sales, the more impressions, the higher click-through rates, and the higher conversion rates that you have on your products are going to ultimately cause them to show up higher in the search engine results. So now going into how Pricefalls search engine works and why data matters for us and for syndication purposes. Typically, when you're looking at what wins search on Pricefalls, number one, there's ad text relevancy, right? So you need the correct information and keywords in your titles. You need size in your titles. You need colors in your titles. And also having a dense keyword description that has all of the major search terms that customers would be using to find your product. These things are probably well known to you already. Additionally, customer reviews and store level reviews come into play. We would also, a note here that's not on this slide is that you can actually pull in reviews on Pricefalls from either Google or reseller ratings. So if you're not already pulling in reviews from those channels to your store, if you have high ratings over there, you probably should be, and you can contact Matt or one of our merchant support team members to add those into your store. They show up on every product page. But as I mentioned earlier, historical sales data is very important. So number of conversions on a product, conversion rate, the number of impressions and page views that your product has, what kind of impression share from external search does your product have? Does it have a high impression share on engines like Google, Bing, Yahoo, other consumer shopping engines? Does it have a high click-through rate on external engines? And does it have a high click-through rate on our own search engine? And then the reviews that are incorporated into that product. Typically, the best data and the best price, obviously, which goes much into conversion rate factors, wins on the search engine. One of the important things about providing the right data is to make sure that your product is displaying when users are searching through filters on any search engine, but particularly, we're talking about Pricefalls here. You can imagine if you're providing us a coffee table, but you have it listed in a living room furniture category. If it's not in the deepest node, if a consumer goes in and filters to coffee tables, there's a chance that our engine, our ingestion engine, won't pick up that it's a coffee table. In many cases, it does. We've built tools that automatically filter out attributes and try to identify what's the deepest level category node that this product should be falling in. But you'll have 100% confidence if you give us the deepest level category. Similarly with attributes like color, gender, size, and other facets, it's important to give us that information so that when consumers are filtering, your product will show up under those attribute filters. Now we do a lot of normalization, so you can give us those attributes in almost any way. For example, if you gave us maroon, we may identify that as red. But you can give us, as long as you have that in your data, that's what's important. So again, what are the most important things to have on Pricefalls in data terms? You really want to include model numbers in your titles. You want to include size and material. We actually have an announcement to make with ChannelSale, and this is a little bit off topic of the slide, but we have integrated variant listings with ChannelSale now. So sellers that have various sizes or colors, different attributes, particularly in the apparel category, can now list those with variant, a drop-down menu on the Pricefalls product pages. So that should be a big win for many ChannelSale sellers. I know that some that has been a barrier to entry in some cases. So it's good. It's great for our sellers, and it's great for ChannelSale users to know that that is now included and incorporated into the integration with ChannelSale. Some of the things that we do, you really want to provide us multiple images. Images are extremely important. Multiple images are extremely important. If it's possible to get a real image of the product, that is very helpful to conversion rates. Also note, and we'll go into this deeper in the next section, we have the ability to use advanced attributes. So what these are, if you provide us, let's say in the watch category, you may have attributes that are not typical attributes, like case diameter and face material, band type, water resistance depth. These are things that are attributes that may not be applicable to other categories, and Pricefalls has incorporated up to 10 custom fields that you can use for any attribute. So if you're in electronics, or if you're sending us a PC and it has a hard drive and or the size of the processor speed or whatever, you can include those custom attributes using our tools, and you wouldn't actually need to change around your information in ChannelSale. Just send us the full set of your data, and we can work to add those in for you. Make sure you're providing us with relevant product descriptions. If you want to use strike-through pricing, give us an MSRP so that your product has a strike-through price and has a save percentage on it. You can see in E here. That shows up on our search engine and also shows up on the product page. And we also use those for our promotional activities through email engagement and others, where we're saying save up to 50% on Citizen EcoDrive watches. We want to display the ones that are showing a strike-through price. I know that other marketplaces do similar things. I know that eBay in particular does a similar strike-through pricing included in their promotional efforts. So moving into some of the advanced tools that we have to enhance the data that you're sending over to us and make it so that your listing does look as elegant as this one. One of the tools that we have is advanced titles. So if you have data coming in or sending over to us through ChannelSale and you want to add something to the end of the title, for example, color. In this example, we've created a title out of very bad data. Typically, when we're receiving ChannelSale data, it's good data because there's already been work done to make it applicable to all of the different channels that you're using. But there may be cases where you want to add size to the end of the title, or you want to add a color to the end of the title, or you want to join fields in some way that creates a better title than you already have in your data. And so what we've done is when you are building your data feed template import, you can customize that to include additional fields within your title. And I would suggest that if you have data that you think would be better, if it's a model number or a SKU or whatnot, to add it in to the title, even if it's not coming over standard like that now. The other thing that we have is advanced descriptions. So what you can do is you can join multiple fields to create a more full description. If you have a block of features in one field and you have a marketing description or a brand description in another, you can add these multiple descriptions together to create one solid listing description. And this may help in creating keyword density for our search engine to pick up on additional sets of maybe broader keyword terms, or maybe possibly more specific keyword terms. You just be picking up more impression share the more data that you provide us within the description. And sometimes, certain marketplaces don't allow certain things in their descriptions, and you may have different sets of data in ChannelSale that you want to add together. This tool allows you to do that. We also allow for, again, like I described earlier, the custom attributes and advanced attributes. If you have information available to you that is not a typical standard attribute like color or size or material, you can add these additional attributes, and they're going to show up within the feature set on the product listing page. So now I'm going to move into some of the external search implications and how Pricefalls search works with external data and internal data to decide what products show up at the top. As you know, Pricefalls, or you may know, Pricefalls advertises on many of the major search engines, comparison shopping engines. We have a network of affiliates, expanding network of affiliates, and we're also participating to a lesser extent in some of the social networking sites. Pinterest is an interesting one that will be expanding in 2018 with their new product ads release, product listing ads, sort of semi-product listing ads engine, but we'll have more information on that probably towards the middle of the year. And what happens when we have good data in our system is very different from when we have bad data. So if we're not getting a lot of impression share, if we're seeing that conversion rate is low, if we can't identify that a product has all of the necessary information to make a decision to check out, it's less likely to be allocated ad spend in a sense. And this graph should give you some more insight into how that engine propels growth over time. And what we see is that products that have high bounce rates and products that don't show up for a lot of search terms, and where users are not viewing multiple pages, or they're not spending time on our site, those products take a while to get back the necessary data for us to propel them and to keep growing their sales. If you think about this on a seller level as well, we can typically assume that when sellers have good data on a certain set of products, that they have good data across all of their products. And many times at the beginning of a seller's tenure on Pricefalls, we're boosting right off the bat to get a bunch of external search data, and that external search data creates internal search decisions on the keywords that are entered on Pricefalls.com. So it's important to have good data on Pricefalls. It's also important for us to be able to send good data elsewhere to get the most data possible on your products, to display them as high as possible on Pricefalls.com. We do have some promotional activities, promotional programs that we can offer to expand and get more data from external search and make better decisions on internal search. This we've seen to have the Boost program in particular has had extremely good results. I would recommend, if you have questions about this, to contact Jason Buchanan, who is the lead on that program. And what we're doing is we're allocating a co-op spend within our already very, very efficient campaigns, and increasing the threshold that of efficiency that we can attribute to those channels. So there are certain affiliates that have expectations on what they should be paid. We can meet certain thresholds with more margin, and we can also meet certain search impression thresholds on engines like Google and Bing, and some of the CSEs if we have more margin to play with. These are what this does is, at the end of the day, we've gathered an excess of data, much more data than we started with, and we can make better decisions even after the boost program ends. You'd be at a higher point than when it begins. So that is the presentation today, and I would encourage everyone to, if you're not already selling on Pricefalls, to take advantage of $100 account credit that we're providing to any ChannelSale non-existing seller that wants to come on board. It would be great to also talk to anyone who has variant listings. Should probably get in touch with our merchant support team to make sure that those are implemented. And then I guess, Alroy, if you want to finish us, we'll finish up here and open up for questions.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Ryan, for the great presentation. And we do have a couple of questions come in. And I have Kent. Let me see if I can get Kent on the call. No, I believe not. So this is his question. Does the new variation listing feature apply to footwear, or is it just apparel?
It does. So footwear is incorporated. You're probably going to want to give us size and gender, or size and color. But yes, it is applicable to footwear.
I hope that answers your question, Kent. And we also have another query from one of our sellers. Okay, are paid advertisements offered by Pricefalls?
So if you're referring to the email paid advertisements or placements, paid placements are available. We do have category level landing page placements that we can offer. We also have homepage placements. Those are typically gated, so we're looking for specific merchandise for those placements, and we'll reach out to certain sellers that have that merchandise. Email placements are available, and the right contact for that is Jason Buchanan for these email placements featuring either a set of brands, specific products in our weekly steals, or we could feature your store as well, but typically works best on a brand level or at a product specific level.
Hey, thanks for the answer. I do have Rennie, who has a question out here. So let me try to get Rennie on board. Hi, Rennie. Can you hear me? Hello, Rennie. Are you able to hear me?
Are you talking about Renee? Okay, I think you mean me.
Hi, Renee.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. I just sent my question about our data. I don't know if you got the question through. Basically our issue is with their data feed, and I don't know if this is more of a tech question that I should, ask another time, but it seems like even though our data feed is running on a daily basis, the data isn't actually updating, and it's sort of a recurring problem we've had with Pricefalls, so we end up overselling items that we actually have removed from our data feed. So I'm just not sure what could be happening, and maybe you have some insights.
Sure. So, the best place to look is to see how frequently we're receiving that full data feed from ChannelSale. Typically, that's on a daily schedule through an FTP location. So we'll want to make sure that our system is set up to pull that feed at the time that is closest to when ChannelSale is pushing that feed, right? And then also another tool that you could use is the inventory update file. And that file updates on an hourly basis and is just a SKU quantity price file. And that may solve that quantity issue, if you have quantity issue, or if you're having stock out of stock issues. The other thing we could do is look at setting some buffers. So we have a quantity buffer tool. So if you have, you could set a 2 in there, and if quantities are less than 2, they won't be listed on Pricefalls. So we could look at that as well. If it's something other than those 3 areas, then there's some there must be a technical person's going to have to look in and see why are either we're not receiving the feed, or we're not pulling it right, or whatnot. But yeah,
it appears to be received and processed daily. That's what's kind of confounding to us. But it looks like it's processing, but again, something's not happening, because then we're overselling an item that we took out. So it's unclear to us exactly what's happening, but we could look into that hourly file. So I'm not really aware of that, so I can look into that. The inventory mention that runs hourly.
That might be a good. Yeah, it can update hourly, and that might be a good solution as a safeguard as well. And then additionally, after this call, we can certainly, if you want to send over an inquiry to us, we'll work with ChannelSale as well to make sure that it's fixed if there is an issue.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Thanks, Renee. And,
thank you.
Ryan. I have Stephen online, and he asked the question, do you follow MAP? Stephen, if you can hear me. Hello, Stephen. Okay, I guess we don't have Stephen's audio, and we can come back to him. So another question out there, Ryan, does Pricefalls have their own warehouse?
So Pricefalls does not have its own warehouse. Interesting question, because we are looking at a potential partnership with a 3PL that actually could provide warehousing and fulfillment services that are not only Prime eligible, but also integrated with all other marketplaces, so eBay, Walmart, Pricefalls.com, and others. We're looking at a potential partnership there to offer a solution. Many times, even with the growth of the Walmart marketplace, they don't like their packages going out through FBA. We actually allow it. We allow sellers to fulfill through FBA, but Walmart does not like Amazon tape on their boxes. So we actually, this 3PL partner eliminates that need for FBA, but also continues to keep your products Prime eligible. If you want to contact me after this webinar, I'd be glad to share some more detail on that and the program that we're looking into in working with them to offer a fulfilled by Pricefalls solution. But very good question. Thank you for the question.
Hey, thanks, Ryan. Okay, yeah, almost coming to the end of it. Just a few more, and so is there any way? So this was a question from one of our clients. Is there any way that a seller can pay more and get more traffic directed?
Boost program is the way to do that. And also, if you couple Boost with email placements and some other category level landing page placements, that is the best way to do this, to increase sales. I mean, we've seen 50% increases in sales through that program with investments as small as $250, $500 for a 30-day period. I would highly recommend looking into that and testing it, because what we've seen in the past is that the retention on that program is extremely high, and sellers are often saying, I want to pay more. So they're increasing their investments, month over month, especially in the peak season. So in the Q4 season, and in your peak season as well. So if you're seasonal in nature, it's definitely a good time just before that season hits to put that investment in, so that we can gather a lot more data and make the best of that peak time. But yeah, great question. Thank you for the question.
Hey, thanks. That was very informative. And I have Thane online. So Thane, I'll just get you on board. Hey, Thane.
How are you?
All good.
Hi, Tame.
So my question is, how does Pricefall deal with brands that specifically want to control their sales channels? And I'm not meaning online channels, distributors, I should say. They're retailers. Because we run in this to eBay all the time, and sometimes on Amazon, and it's a nightmare. And how does Pricefalls deal with, for example, my guys go out to a Kmart that's closing down, and they buy 500 Hoover vacuums, and I want to sell them on Pricefalls, but Hoover doesn't like that.
Right. So it's a good question, and so there's a couple different ways that we handle this. We don't have. I'll tell you how we don't handle it. We don't have a zero complaints system. We don't have a way for someone to come in and immediately shut down your product in an automated fashion. Our seller policies indicate that our sellers should not or are not able to infringe on proprietary rights of trademarks and whatnot of other organizations. And so really it comes down to them, because we're so transparent. They have the ability to contact you directly, and that's how we typically try to resolve any of these types of disputes first. That's the first step, is we send them to you. If they come to us, they say this is infringing on our rights, then we provide them the public link to your store and ask that they try to resolve this with the seller directly. The only time that we take action is if we are presented with a legal action from the person pursuing this. So I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, that was a perfect answer. Thank you. That's what I like.
Thanks, Thane. Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, so we have come to the end of this webinar, and any feedback would be highly appreciable. The recorded version of this webinar would be made available within a week or two, and we'll share the details on how we'll be circulating the same. If you have any additional questions, you can send us an email on info@channelsale.com. I'll repeat, info@channelsale.com. So thanking you guys once again for your time today. Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, Matt. And have a great day ahead. Bye, guys.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.